Hello viewers and welcome back to Under the Brick. And I was just thinking, Five Nights at Freddy's turns 10 years old this year, and I find that hard to believe. It was only yesterday I stumbled across the teasers for the second game. Wait a second, this is a Lego channel. So what is the brick-built history of FNAF then? Stay with me on this one. If you don't know, Five Nights at Freddy's is a point-and-click horror game developed by one guy, Scott Coffin. I recommend checking this video out by Solar Sands if you want a more in-depth history of the guy, since I'm not really going to be covering it here. In the game, you play as a night guard working at Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria. In the game, you're stuck in one room and have to defend yourself from the animatronics through the use of the security system. Did I forget to mention that the animatronics are possessed by the spirits of the deceased children that went missing in the 80s? Don't worry, it's all explained in the lore that I'm not really going to get into, but still. And that simple game spawned countless sequels, a full feature-length movie, 3 book series, tons of merchandise and a fandom. So akin to any other piece of fan-created content like fan art, music, animations, cosplay, I would say a Lego-based creation would fall neatly into that camp. So in this video I'm going to cover all sorts, from mocks to custom figures, bootlegs, a cancelled fan game, even the official brick-built FNAF sets. So grab some fizzy fazz, some slightly undercooked pizza and lock all your doors and grab a flashlight, because we're going to be covering some FNAF and Lego related content. So what were the first pieces of FNAF related content using Lego? So in my Google search I found a few interesting little things. A little bit of fan art on DeviantArt, some random mocks here and there, even some stuff on Steam. Though I wanted to find something a little bit more meaty to start with. So first up is TheMooseFigs on Flickr. As you can see, it's a mock of the first game's office, and a very accurate recreation of what is seen in game if I do say so myself, and was published on the 22nd of November 2014. TheMooseFigs didn't stop there though. In December they put pictures out for their own custom minifigures of the 4 main animatronics. Bonnie, Freddy, Chica and Foxy were all depicted in minifigure form, being joined by Golden Freddy in a later post. The heads were sculpted by the user Batman Beyond 117 and sent to and painted by the TheMooseFigs themselves. They also showed them off on their channel too.
Hey guys, I'm back, and today I've finished my Five Nights at Freddy's figures. So we have...
I recommend checking out their channel on Instagram. They've got some really neat customs on there. Take a look, I've linked them down below. They've also recently made a spring trap too.
This is the closest figure I have on hand because this is the one I stole this minifig stand from.
Well, recent as in a year ago, but still, that's neat. Anyway, like I said, their office mock was posted on the 22nd of November 2014. This was about 3 months and 15 days after the game was initially released. The game had come out on August 8th and was steadily gaining steam going into 2015, and it would only continue to go up from there. In a similar vein, up next we have NitroBricks, who made videos of their own creations around the same time.
What is up, YouTube? This is Lego Mindbreaker CS again, and today we are bringing you a part 2 of Freddy.
First making a mock of Freddy, followed by the rest of the animatronics, done in the style of Minecraft skins. These were primarily brick built. In the videos you can see how tall these creations are. You can get a real sense of scale when you see NitroBricks holding them. These videos were quickly followed by these sort of building tutorials showing how to make the animatronics from FNAF 2 and the preceding games. Along with this, they also made this stop motion recreating the 5 AM at Freddy's, the prequel by Pymations.
No, that's just Freddy. No! He's doing that thing with the spare Freddy head again! You know? Messing with your facial scanners!
I just want to mention, while doing research for this, I found a lot of LEGO stop motions recreating this one animation especially, and I just find that's quite neat. This was swiftly followed by more mock videos, and that's all I kind of have to say about them. They still make content featuring their mocks to this day, but have moved into more popular horror gamey type stuff, your digital circuses and your skibbity do-dat poppy playtime things, you know? That's not to discredit them though, they're doing their own thing, and I gotta say some of these mocks are pretty neat. Recently they have done some more FNAF stuff as well, including making Glamrock Freddy and remaking the 4 classic animatronics too, and again I've linked their channel down below. Also, just want to say, early on they did some Minecraft stuff, like they made this model of Stampy Cat and I think that's really cool. Also, before we move on to the next thing, I just want to mention they remade the Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria location. Not the one from the game, no. That one image, you know the image. If you're a FNAF fan, you know this image. They made a mock of that image, and I just think that's really funny. I don't know why, that really tickles me pink, that. You kind of forget how quickly these games are coming out at the time. Like, the gap between FNAF 1 and FNAF 2's releases is absolutely shocking in retrospect. At the time, though, it just felt so much more spaced out. I think it was because everyone was focusing on the lore and the characters and the new features and all that, and heck, even spending time making their own fan creations. Continuing with Brick-Built FNAF stuff, Brick 101 may be a channel you recognise. This is because they've been around for quite a while. Their first public video was released on February 15th, 2009. This was a short of the Nightly News at 9, or the NNN. This later became a full series. The series was done by Dave Pickett, who voice acted, wrote, and animated the entire series. The premise involved their original characters hosting a news program filled with skits and music videos.
Orange, orange, 101, orange, 1, orange.
I won't be going into further detail about the series, but if you're interested, there's an episode of the World of Brick Films podcast that featured Dave Pickett discussing the series on the Bricks of Motion channel, so I've linked it down below if you're interested in hearing more about it. Other videos on the channel were building tutorials on how to build various props and sets from the show. They later branched out and made tutorials on how to make characters from popular culture, like The Simpsons or Minecraft, and so eventually they made some stuff based off FNAF.
Today's How to Build is on Freddy Fazbear from Five Nights at Freddy's.
The FNAF characters were done in various scalings too, from minifigures with brick-built heads to ones with custom heads, to the much more recognisable brick-built ones that are at a larger scale. I feel these inspired a lot of people to make their own due to the nature of it being a tutorial and all. While doing research for this video, I came across people's FNAF based mocks citing Brick 101 as their inspiration.
All of these models are by Brick 101, or aka Nightly News at 9, or David Pickett.
That's how much people were inspired by them. But they did do something else involving FNAF, and I think that leads us quite comfortably into our next subject. For those who don't know, Mcfarlane Toys is a company specialising in action figures and other collectibles. Founded by Todd McFarlane, the guy who made Spawn, in 1994, they have made figures for all sorts of licenses over the years, from DC to Shrek, and yes, FNAF, but not as normal action figures though. In 2014, McFarlane Toys began producing building sets based off the AMC show The Walking Dead. As you can see, they're very different in tone and building style to Lego. They're closer to Mega Bloks now that I think about it. They have these textured pieces that simulate materials like metal and wood, even including rubber elements for stuff like grass. Starting out, the figures were kind of like miniatures, with limited articulation. In 2015, more sets were made, including ones based off Game of Thrones. In 2016, McFarlane expanded the range to include more licenses. These were shown at Toy Fair. This included Rick and Morty, Steven Universe, and of course FNAF. Okay, it didn't look like this. This was just a prototype that was shown, but it had some weird details. First, there's this weird Chica hybrid, and of course don't forget the source filmmaker render of Freddy in the top left here. Yeah, this was a slight problem in the early days of FNAF merch. Companies tended to use fan renders as reference for merchandise, or just straight up used it on packaging. Oh, and don't forget Tire Track Freddy here. This was just a prototype, and with that being said, I think we can take a full look at the first wave of sets that were released. The first wave of sets were released in August 2016 and were comprised of the show stage with Freddy, Bonnie and Chica, the office with Golden Freddy, Pirates Cove with Foxy, and a backstage area strangely including with a Chica. That wasn't all though, there was also a brick-built range of figures based off the sprites from FNAF 2's minigames. These were followed by 9 more sets releasing in the fall, covering the preceding games. This included Nightmare with Right Hall, Fun with Balloon Boy including Nightmare Balloon Boy, Toy Chica with Right Air Vent, Phantom Foxy with a Camo 8 Hallway, Toy Bonnie with Left Air Vent, Phantom Freddy with Arcade Cabinet, Security Office with Springtrap, The Bed with Nightmare Freddy, and The Closet with Nightmare Mangle, and that closes off the first year of sets. While doing research for this video, I found this commercial that actually aired on TV.
Five Nights at Freddy's friends are here in construction set 4. Catch Withered Chica backstage. Follow Foxy to Pirate Cove. Find Golden Freddy in the office. And you can share the show stage with the whole gang. It'll be a party you'll never forget. Five Nights at Freddy's construction. Will you survive the night? Five Nights at Freddy's construction sets. Each set sold separately.
Was that the bite of 87?
Like I alluded to earlier, Brick 101 did reviews of these sets back in the day. even hosting a giveaway for a few of them. For some reason, a majority of these reviews are no longer up on the channel. Luckily, a lot of these reviews have been re-uploaded thanks to the Brick 101 re-uploaded channel, so a big thanks to them. From what I can tell, Dave Pickett deleted them due to YouTube enforcing COPPA, the Children's Online Privacy Protection Rule. This happened in 2019 and threatened the livelihood of a dozen LEGO channels at the time. It was the whole thing of how LEGO's a children's toy, but then adults play with it and make content revolving around it, and it was a whole thing that can probably be its own separate video down the road. In the making of this video, I stumbled across a few articles on the Mcfarlane site linking off to these original videos, so now I know why they're not there anymore. Also, it seems like Dave Pickett ended up selling their collection on eBay, including some of the prototypes that were sent to them. A few people in the comments of the re-uploaded videos mentioned this. I was confused at first till I looked at their community tab, where I saw this image, so I guess that puts that to rest. Anyway, let's continue on to the next year of Mcfarlane's sets. In spring 2017, 9 more sets were released along with another wave of 8-bit brick-built figures, and those sets were the game area with Mangle and Balloon Boy, parts and service with Withered Foxy and Shadow Freddy, circus control with Baby, the party room with Toy Freddy, show clip.
And after number 8 is that Toy Freddy, well, you know, he's kinda, fat.
The prize corner with the puppet, the window with Nightmare Chica, spotlight stage right with Funtime Freddy, spotlight stage left with Funtime Foxy, and the office door with Shadow Bonnet. There was no further sets till the following spring in 2018, and those were the private room with Lolbit and Yendo, I think I've probably butchered that, the scooping room with Ennard, the control module with Funtime Foxy and Ballora, Paper Pals Party with Withered Bonnet, office hallway with Phantom Balloon Boy, left dresser and door with Nightmare Foxy, grandfather clock with Nightmare Bonnet, and the party wall with Withered Freddy. Also this year, the first wave of sets from 2016 were re-released along with a new one, that being the West Hall with Foxy and Bonnet. In 2019 there were more sets, and they were the East Hall with Chica and Freddy, left hall with Nightmarion, Fun with Plush Trap, right dresser and door with Nightmare Golden Freddy, the toy stage with Toy Freddy, Toy Bonnie and Toy Chica, the office desk with Withered Golden Freddy, and the Temple of the Fox with Foxy. Interestingly, this set is based off the Bear of Vengeance cutscenes from Ultimate Custom Night. You may have noticed from some of the images and videos I've been showing in the background that a key feature of these sets were that you could put them together to make locations from the games. There's some interesting Easter eggs found in the instruction booklets for some of the sets. They include images straight from the game, mostly the children's drawings that are seen in the majority of the Fazbear locations on the walls. Even the salvaged checklist from Pizzeria Simulator makes an appearance. And on that note, the last wave of sets came out in 2020 and were based off the 2 most recent games, that being Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria Simulator and the VR game Help Wanted, and those sets were Upper Vent Repair with Mangle, Star Curtain with Lefty, the Salvage Room with Molten Freddy, Parts and Service, again, with Freddy, the Deluxe Concert Stage with Rockstar Freddy, Rockstar Bonnie and Rockstar Chica, and the last set, ever, the Corn Maze with Grim Foxy. And that was it. The line just sort of ended. Now that I've shown you all the sets, you can see that they had their quirks. Some of the animatronics translated better into minifigures, especially with Mcfarlane's strange minifigure style. Some of the sets had some strange building choices too, along with committing the cardinal sin of having one sticker go across multiple pieces like some older LEGO sets. But for all their shortcomings, from what I could tell, people liked them and they hold a slightly significant part in the history of FNAF merch, and that's all I can really say about them. You know who else did reviews on these sets? Andy Matronic. It was amongst the earliest videos on their channel. You may recognise them from their more recent videos, like when they made that fully working arcade machine for their own FNAF fan game. Speaking of fan games, our last subject might be a bit of a downer, but it's something I wanted to include because, well, I think it's neat, and also because this is the brick-built history of FNAF, and I feel like if I don't mention this, someone's going to mention it. A LEGO FNAF fan game was in development in 2020. This was being handled by Rialo20, who came up with the idea and would do the models, while Sunken Studios would handle the coding. The game was set to be a remake of FNAF 1, but done in the LEGO game style, even including their classic HUD hearts, along with giving all the animatronics a minifigure makeover. Being done in LEGO leads to some neat details, like the various posters and drawings being on regular flat tiles, along with all the minifigures and pieces having various fingerprints and scuff marks on them, even to how the animatronics look with their specialised moulded heads having limited printing. The game got a lot of coverage from FNAF based YouTubers. It also has its own channel and did have its own Game Jolt page. I recommend checking both of them out because there's some really neat stuff on there, though you would have to use the Wayback Machine to look at the Game Jolt page due to it being taken down. And now I have to say why the game was taken down, and that was because of copyright. A DMCA takedown notice was sent from LEGO to the team, and they decided to shelve the projects. And I do say projects because they were planning on remaking the second and possibly the other 2 games. This happened due to a precaution the team took while in development, so they wouldn't get a takedown notice from Scott Coffin, the original creator of FNAF. You would have to own a copy of FNAF 1 on Steam to play it. However, this inadvertently would direct profit to Scott while using LEGO's branding, and that's what caused the DMCA takedown notice. That wouldn't stop an artist from creating though. The channel has uploaded since then with some animation tests and even showing some updated models for the animatronics to make them closer to the ones seen in the film. Hey, editing me here. I just wanted to quickly pop in and say that the game might have a virus. There were some people on Reddit saying it doesn't, and then some people say it might, and I wouldn't want any of my viewers getting a virus, so I'm just letting you know in case you thought about going to look for it. There are some links of it available, but I would just say be cautious, okay? Back to the video, sorry. I think after that downer of a segment, I think we need a bit of a pick-me-up. So here's some bootleg FNAF figures set to some fitting music. And I guess that's it. Even to this day, people are still making custom figures and mocks for FNAF. And with rumours of a new game, along with a movie sequel set to release next year, people will probably be making LEGO FNAF stuff for years to come. And this video was kind of made to celebrate that. I know this was kind of a different video from me, but it's always something I wanted to try, especially with a longer subject. And this was the perfect opportunity for that, because I really wanted to do something to celebrate this franchise hitting 10 years. Because I remember making my own LEGO FNAF stuff when I was younger. Like, I would use the mascot suit figures with robot heads, and I made my own little pizzeria and everything, and I have no pictures of this, but still. Anyway, do you have any thoughts on what I covered in this video? Do you have any memories of your own LEGO FNAF stuff? Leave that all down below. And while you're down there, maybe consider subscribing for more news, reviews, mocks, and maybe even another video like this. I'm Under the Brick, saying goodbye, and see you next time.